Hey, hello. How you doing? It is I, Serene Priestess Gorgeous, here at Vertex of Abundance, broadcasting to you today from the Pacific Northwest Temple in Portland, Oregon. Again, my name is Serene Priestess Gorgeous. I'm the High Priestess here at Vertex of Abundance Galactic Temple. Across the universe, seriously. And I'm going to go ahead and get into the Soul Purpose Saturday. My findings so far are that there needs to be the end of some of the operating from the shadow. There's something hiding in the shadows, and it's our lethargy, our lethargicness, our wanting to be comfort and not wanting to be comfortable. So we won't change too much because the work that's being required of us to do is going to bring out some anguish because there's something alive in us that needs to be addressed. The recommendation so far was to mature, literally to leave something behind. And again, it was to detangle the thoughts from the feelings, from the emotions, the actual factual, the reality versus what's just only in our mind. You know, if it hasn't been agreed upon out loud, it may, in fact, truly and genuinely only be in your mind. Now, what the path looks like for us is, you know, there's a desire to move on, or there should be, you know, there's something more meaningful out on the path, but there's going to be some degree of spiritual growth needed. You know, the Fool in reverse is the energy of, and this is literally the path, the journey, the aura here. So this has Mercury, has Uranus, and has the Sun in here. Now, Eight of Cups is Saturn and Pisces. And, you know, Saturn is the vehicle that Uranus normally steps down through. So Uranus is the spirit. So there's been some programming, conditioning, some debilitation here on a spiritual level due to fear. Somebody is being called through incarnational experiences to go out on the path seeking bigger, brighter, and better. There's still a little bit left off of the table that we can't really complete this path with. So not everything's been given to us, but we've gotten pretty far. And the difficulty here is to leave everything that we've worked on and invested in and move on. Sometimes, you know, you're clearly in a toxic relationship, but it feels good. You know, it could be one of those things because what cannot be changed. And, you know, that's where we're at. Where we're heading is we need to release. We need to allow an ending, especially in our wounding and our deep emotional places where we try to hide a lot of truth even from ourselves, especially others. You know, negative and fear-based thoughts, especially being overly focused on material things, a false sense of entrapment. That is that devil energy. You know, what cannot be changed here is that we need to self-govern. Again, like I said, speak our mind with confidence, get professional help if we need, whether it's an advisor, a counselor, a guide, a priest, a shaman, a healer. Balance mental and emotional considerations, and that's the surrender there. The sacrifice to make is that we've been trying to commit to something that's not in true alignment with our path. Whatever we've been manifesting or we have manifested or we're trying to manifest is not in alignment with our path. So we're becoming more and more and more decrepit as it goes on. We're literally killing ourselves from the inside out because we're starving our spirit. I wouldn't normally give such a strong statement with that star card, but it's in reverse on top of the Ten of Cups. So we're willing to stay in a place where we're not getting our needs met because it feels good and it's known to us. But that would mean something's hiding in the shadows. Great sadness, basically. A lack of healing, the need to forgive oneself and others so that we can move on. So if you're staying in a situation, people, place, or thing, relationship or not, meaning it's a partnership, but it might not be like a romantic or a marriage partnership, right? If you're staying in those, it could be business partnership, work partnership, living partnership, whatever. If you're in some type of ship navigating through the seas of time here, and it's not in alignment with you, you need to jump ship. It's better to drown in your own sorrows than be perfectly than to die, than to be assassinated while you're smiling in a situation that you're giving your power away over to. Because the sacrifice here is to manifest trustworthy relationships. So even if you're in a place where there was a previous happiness, as you began to mature, this didn't. Because the surrender is using self-power. The sacrifice is to leave something where you're not having hope, faith, and optimism. There's a lack of hope, faith, and optimism. There's pessimism, distrust, catastrophization. And it has to do with either the soul group, some type of spiritual union, or a committed emotional relationship. Now, what's going to be of a great support is that working hard and buckling down, you can become control. See, what I'm detecting is that you are the devil. Because that's the foundation you had. So, you know, the devil has all the negative connotations that you're imagining and then some. I do want to admit that. But on another level, especially with the lower majors, meaning 1 through 7, which we have the Fool and the Emperor. That's the Fool is 0 or 4, and the Emperor is 4 or 13. And it's really up to you, because I'm a master magician here, and I pardon if you're a little lost. I'll try to reel it in here, and that wasn't designed to offend. I need to explain something rather complex, so I'm like bracing for impact, and it's not going to work. Let me just come out with it. And again, I'm in a temple, so there's a little bit of noise in the background. But so the devil, especially when it's surrounded by the lower grade of the meaning 0 through 7, it would mean like business or control or sheer physical power. It could mean brute force. It could mean business. It could mean control, because the devil also, this represents Capricorn, so it would be the gatekeeper to the material realm, the person holding the purse strings. Especially with that Emperor, it would mean a control freak, and this is a person who's unwilling to leave a situation. Okay, and that was a mic drop from the universe. So this is a person, you, okay, this area over here is us, this is others, partnerships. So we, us, you, watching this video, myself included, there's something alive in us right now where we're a little bit of a control freak. The universe is asking us to grow in maturity, get to higher ground, and it's going to require brute force work where we may be tired, we may feel like we're enslaved to something of our own creation, whether it was a belief that we created in the physical or a business. I'm going through a very similar problem right now where I'm stuck with a business situation. Like like my website crashed and all these other things happened, and it's requiring a lot of physical energy that I don't have to kind of overcome it, like hours and hours and hours of tedious work, recovering information, etc. No, I don't need help, don't ask. So it's one of those situations like that, and you hear me already. I'm like, don't ask if you can help me. Control freak. Emperor and the devil together is control freak. Now, the reason being is because there's some very clear strategy with the King of Swords there. Emperor is, we have the Emperor qualified by the King of Swords. So this is somebody that's practicing self-governance, self-control through the mental body. And this physical action, Knight of Earth, with that devil, is saying that we do need to control the resources, we do need to control the energy, we do need to control the access to ourselves, because this is the first house. And we need to go out on this journey to manifest bigger, brighter, and better, move to higher ground. So there are some things that we've outgrown that we need to let go before we can incorporate more. Now, in the root, what we're holding on to is this perspective, okay? Okay, let me just finish that thought on the devil. So the devil could also be because this is our foundation, basically the thing that's going to be of a great support, and the second house is the foundation. So it's saying, loyal, dedicated, honorable, and kind, a time to buckle down and get things done, honor your commitments, a guardian angel. So yeah, and I'm actually sick and recovering, so it's difficult for me to I feel like I'm dropping balls left and right, and I can't keep up with small, mediocre things, which is atypical for me. And so that might be another reason why we're in this, because the devil that we may be creating is we have this belief that something's wrong in our partnerships, and the other shoe's gonna drop. That's kind of like the sun in reverse. We should be feeling good, but we're worried that something that we don't know about is gonna happen. So with this devil in the second house, is saying we're become overly obsessively controlling. There's something that we want to manifest, but in the 12th house, that emperor is saying it's out of our hands, it's out of our control. I'm sharing my own example so that I can cut to the cord, cut to the nitty gritty here, because I tend to talk in abstract concepts and ideas, and for this energy, it's so physical. The devil's out twice. It's so physical in the material that I'm literally becoming exhausted trying to explain from my mind. I need to explain from reality. So that's usually what happens when I'm throwing in personal details. The devil in the second house is kind of like somebody who's controlling the money, controlling the purse strings, controlling the values. For instance, the person who would be controlling what everybody practices in terms of spirituality in the family. The family unit would be in the second house. So create your legacy, worry about yourself is what I'm getting. Because what others can help you with is whittling out the illusion. So whatever is unclear, whether it's good, bad, or otherwise, you're going to need people that you have a one-on-one emotional bond with to illuminate, elucidate, enumerate for you what your options are. Just be a sounding board, a witness, a third party in the situation. You and your higher self are the party number one and party number two. So in the root here, what we're holding on to, what's in our heart, is postponement, surrender, sacrifice, martyrdom. So we're operating from a victim mentality, poor me, why me, or always talking about the problems instead of just saying, don't give up, protect what you've created, have courage and believe in yourself. I'm hearing strength, courage, and wisdom. Now, strength, courage, and wisdom is a little difficult because the strength card's in reverse. We'll get to that in a minute. So as we go out into the world, there's something that we need to be secretive about. There is something here that we do need to get rid of. We do need to excise. We do need to cut out like a bad cancer. We do need to remove from our lives. The end of a phase or situation, it says here, spiritual transformation, time to move on. High Priestess in reverse is kind of like there's a secret and you know about it, but you're keeping it to yourself, or you're waiting in the cycle and not everything is available to you. So you can sense it. You can kind of discern a little bit of the energy, but maybe not 100% of the energy is clear. Again, the High Priestess is the keeper of the secret. The secret itself is the moon card. This is the new moon. The moon card is the full moon, and this is the keeper of that mystery, the moon card being the mystery. In reverse, you know that there's a secret, or the emperor, this wouldn't even come out. Okay. It can also be that there was some type of secret, but you've transitioned into the Empress. So instead of, sitting in the conception, sitting in the contemplation, now you're sitting in the gestation of something. With the Sun card or the Emperor card, it would have been birthed. The birth is still on the way. So let me translate now. You're being quiet about how you're cutting cords, cutting energy, relinquishing your want, hope, wish, prayer on something. You recognize that whatever you were trying to create, manifest, some of you, wasn't in alignment, and you're not going to be sharing with people the changes that you're making. You're going to be making what's called cutbacks. And that is another energy of the Death card in reverse. Now, the Death card's actually upright, but it should be upright when it's coming up against the Devil, because it could be a double-edged sword. You could be cutting out things like a bad cancer. You could also, because I do see here you're tempering yourself, and it's difficult to make some movement in a soul bond. And it doesn't necessarily always mean like another person. It can be the soul group. You might have recently joined, I don't know, I'm hearing the word roller derby. So you might have joined, what is roller derby? Like a club, I know what roller derby is. I'm trying to give it like a category. It's a club. It's a sports team. A lot of people don't think of roller derby as sports, but I'm a cheerleader, so a lot of people wouldn't say that about cheerleading and belly dancing, but to me it's as much a sport as football, okay? So what is the roller derby? Is a group. Same thing with the cheerleading squad or a burlesque troupe or a belly dancing troupe. It's a community, it's a network, and it's also a club, right? You may want a bigger place in that network, in that group. If you find a group of people that you commune with and that think like you and talk like you, or at least can understand you, and you don't feel tolerated, you actually feel celebrated, that's your soul group for that moment in time. The way that I discern if it's your soul group, are you growing together? Are you in alignment? Do you, maybe not the same vibration, but are you all heading towards the same place? Do you feel celebrated, not tolerated in their presence? That's your soul group. Okay? Well, the energy here is saying that you're pretty soon going to learn that you've been resting and holding on to your beliefs about this soul group, your place in the soul group. And in reality, that was what you told yourself. And in reality, there was this time to accept a truth that had been revealed. Something came out of the shadows. That's my findings. There's a depth, something emerges here. And it's a reality that the path you chose wasn't right. And, you do need to be a control freak, but you need to do it for the right reasons, and you need to have a different perspective in your mind as you do it. If you're governing from a place of fear as you're being a control freak, you're operating in the shadow. If you're governing from a place of fear as you're being a control freak, if you're not governing from a place of fear, if you're governing from a place of discernment and control and self-governance, that would actually mean you're not being a control freak. It would mean that you're being overly discerning. You can be a little bit of a micromanager, but it would also mean that you're being hands-on because you're pre-transition. Because even though the devil energy came out twice, it's really alluding to the physicality of the situation. Because the death card with the devil means the end of shadow, the end of obsession. You've been obsessing either about a person, a place, or a thing. And it's our place in the soul group. There was something hiding. It's like we outgrew people, places, and things, but we weren't willing to say anything out loud. We weren't willing or weren't able to acknowledge that shift, acknowledge that growth, acknowledge that expansion out in the world. We didn't tell people that we were outgrowing them. We didn't let people know that we wanted to manifest bigger, brighter, and better in our lives, and maybe that was going to take us away from them. Because ultimately, when I see the Justice card in reverse, especially as a central energy, especially on top of that King of Wands, girl, homeboy, let me tell you. It means, so whatever happens with the Justice card is what's supposed to happen. It wouldn't come out if it wasn't like that. But in reverse, either you don't understand why what the judgment was is what it was, or the judgment card's not out, so this would be a decision, which is a soft judgment. Now, in reverse, it's like it seems unfair, or you don't know why the decision was. It could also mean that you're not going to be on the right side of justice if you don't put more energy into it. Now, I'm feeling that because when we started the reading, the Fool card was in reverse. It went upright. And we do have the Knight of Wands out here. So you need to get out and manifest is what I'm being told. Focus, focus, focus. Communicate with vision and be a leader. Advice from someone creative. Get creative. Look and cultivate more relationships with people who are motivational, idealistic, ambitious, charismatic. Okay? That's the guidance there. Now, what we're trying to create, what's on our mind, what we're manifesting from our beliefs is how to find a foundation in this world And it's going to come from our skills, from our craft, what it is we want to manifest. The universe is conspiring to help us, and we're going to begin to see that over the future. There's some idea we want to turn into profitability or manifest something that's only in our mind right now. So we're going to need to be patient in order to be successful. We're going to need to be dependable or scholarly in order to be successful. And it does necessitate a little bit of an action. Now, an action here could be forming an intention and aligning with that intention. So it doesn't mean you need to physically move energy, but you would need to do spiritual actions, meditating, contemplation, burning candles, burning ancestor money. Ultimately, there will be good news, especially about material matters, maybe even finances. Okay? There is something that you want to do that's a little bit more challenging. You want a little bit more creativity, excitement as well. Now, the soul feels out of alignment. They're not feeling open and receptive to going out. And so you can't speak your mind right now. You can't speak your truth. For some reason, you lack faith, hope, optimism, courage. And you no longer feeling compassionate, which is why it's necessitating this breaking out, breaking free. I'm trying to see if there's a hidden 7. There is a hidden 7 because we have a 3 of swords and a 4 of swords. So 3 plus 4 equals 7, 7 swords right there. So that's that breakout, break free card, 7 of swords. It can be negative or positive. I'm not a traditional reader. I don't read like the books do. Sorry. You think you might know tarot? Not when you're around me, because I'm a little bit too different. I don't merge with all the definitions, and if you're sitting there judging from your mind, reading the textbook definition of the cards, it's going to be a little bit of challenges, especially with the soul readings. I can get a little bit more traditional with love readings, but with the soul readings, it's all intuitive, and it's saying break out, break free, and I normally that would be the 7 of swords, but it's a combination, so it's hidden here. Right now, we're sitting with the fact that we lack sufficient courage and wisdom to get out of something that we got into a while ago. It was working for a while. So another thing that's going to be difficult is we're going to let things down. People are in love with us. We're not in love with them. And it's not all lovers. It's not. Some of these are friends. Some of these are networks. For instance, I was part of a group that went around town doing outreach. And I really loved what I was doing, but there were too many things on my plate. And I had to relinquish my place in that group. And it broke everybody's heart. And it broke my heart too, but I still had to leave. It was no longer in alignment with my life, what I was becoming. And it was difficult because I loved going and talking to children and talking to people that were disadvantaged. It wasn't all kids. Some of them were rehabs, high schools, colleges. I'm not going to say specifically what I was doing, but I was going into communities and educating people on proper boundaries, proper spiritual hygiene. And it really was something that I enjoyed. So, lovers would be upright, but I couldn't stay. I didn't have the energy to stick around, right? Strength in reverse. And the Empress, I loved it, right? It really made me feel loving and motherly. I don't have a womb. I may never have children. So my spiritual children really mean a lot to me. My clients really mean a lot to me. If I'm sponsoring somebody, which I only ever do for a couple months, maybe $10 to $50, not a lot. I don't have a lot to give, but that really means a lot to me. Those causes for altruism really help me sleep at night, really give my soul satisfaction, satiation. And leaving those places is not always going to be comfortable, but there's some type of growth. And again, we're not on the right path with that star card in reverse. It's being supported by the 10 of water. The 10 of cups is your place in the soul group. It's not. It's singularity with the soul group. Your place in the soul group would be 7 of cups. And if you're at a low vibration, it would be very overwhelming and confusing to you. So the path we're on is towards release of shadow. And the shadow is of our own creation. We've held on to something longer than we have. That's another definition. The devil has many definitions, both positive and negative. Another definition of the devil is when you're in a cycle that's gone on for too long, so it changes from the lovers to the devil. Does that make sense? When something's overstayed its welcome and is taken on a mind of its own, when the energy is now creating demons instead of angels. And all the winged people are in reverse here. Mainly the Judgment card has wings as well. And the only other winged card is the Lover's card. So that means like we're in a good situation, but we're giving our power away. Because we can't have faith, hope, wisdom, courage. So we're on the path of moving on to higher ground, and we're heading towards a release of some kind. Thing that cannot be changed here is that we're going to need to use self-governance. We're not on the right path. So what's going to be of a great support is to use brute force, break out of this no matter what, regardless of who is going to get hurt. And again, you can't foresee everybody's hurt feelings. And if that's all it is, hurt feelings, that ain't your problem. Okay. The guidance here is focus, focus, focus. Be a leader. It's you. You've got to be the king this week for you and your life. It doesn't matter what gender you were assigned at birth. The king is about the external expression of the suit. It's the King of Wands here. And you have two kings. Two kings is an alliance. And you need to be aligned with yourself before you can be in alliance with other people. And a lot of you hear me and you cut corners and you ask me the same questions a week and week and week and week and week after another. You've been told the answer. And because it doesn't feel good, you're not doing it. You know, growth happens outside your comfort zone. If you're feeling comfortable, you're not growing. You understand? It's the way it works. It's literally spiritual technology 101. When the wounding happens, the growth happens. When the breakdown happens, the breakthrough is right immediately after that. The wound is where the light shines through. Do you understand? If something doesn't cut you, you may never learn the truth of your reality and what alive in you created and manifested that reality. Okay, so I'm going to do a very quick, short sermon today. Okay, so the Nine of Cups is explaining we got two of them. We have Israfel and Leliel. Leliel is the angel of the night. I work with the angel a little bit more than most people are comfortable with because that angel has a negative connotation. And I was going to pull one from the Tree of Life and one from the angels, but since two angels came out, we'll leave the Tree of Life alone. Let me pull something here for shadow relationships and karmic soulmates, and then I'll pull one for the divine partnerships. So we'll use Taroki de Casanova. Okay, and I got the Two of Wands for the Tarot of the Casanova and the Four of Swords from the Sun and Moon Angel Tarot. Now this is an adult card, so cover your children's eyes if you need to. I'll give you a moment. Okay, go. So, and then this is the Two of Wands, and that's the karmic situation. So this is something for nothing. This is somebody who comes and, you know, enjoys bed pleasures with you, and then they leave. They've been whittling you down. You've been trying to remain in your personal power. And once they get what they want from you, they go on. They give you nothing back in return except, you know, a open heart yearning for some loving. Now, this is all on the grounds of our divinity. Nine of Cups, another definition for the Nine of Cups. And listen, I'm tired and I'm recuperating, so I'm sensitive. If I've been yelling at you during the reading, you're welcome. You need to hear me, but you don't need to take it to heart. The Nine of Cups, I don't like getting emails about people arguing with me about the meanings of tarot cards. Like, I've been reading cards for 3/4 of my life. For over half my life, I've been reading cards. For 22 years, I'm only 31, okay? So, yeah, since 8 years old. Yes, for real. So the Nine of Cups to me, especially to a Brahmin or a practitioner, is like your divinity. literally all of your divinity. So we have Israfel and Leliel. And we are reading, we're still using the rebel angels, but not this week. So Israfel, angel of song. The herald that will come will call the coming of the end times. Israfel is presence, a beacon, a warning. Heated judgment is upon us. The horn that blows the final call rests against the flesh of Israfel's lips. It is even it is flesh. Israfel is both melody and the cacophony of existence. Songs can be soft and warm, especially when they end. Under the serene score of creation, the danger of total destruction is hidden. Beyond that destruction may be a new beginning. You must consider the implications of your actions seriously. Choose your steps wisely as you dance upon the cinder-soft earth. A horn, a setting sun, a flame. I'll get back to that in a minute. Leliel. Angel of the night. A fleeting spirit who dances across the sky. Beautiful but aloof, stars fill the tresses of Leliel's hair. The night passes The night passes whether we are lost to quiet murmurs of sleep or staring out at a darkened expanse of sky. For everything you see, there are 1,000 things that are unseen. You witness the glimmer, the gleaming of what is truly there. Leliel passes from star to star, filling the night with light. One would think the darkness Okay, I'm going to read this sentence. It seems a little out of context here. One would think the darkness Leliel's realm. However, it is the starlight that heralds the night's arrival. Okay, I got it. Star bright, starlight, dance on and on across the night. What lullabies await us? Asks Leliel. What glittering night charms with Leliel's hang? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I cannot read today. What lullabies await us? Asked Leliel. What glittering night charms will Leliel hang upon the sky for all of us to dream? Wind, sheer cloth, and the moon. I'm in a trance, so I'm a little bit non-human, and reading English is the quickest way to ground me, and it's quite chaotic because English is a cursed language. It literally is designed to enslave you to your body and help you forget your spirit in the heavens. We ain't going to talk about it here. So, Israfel, there's something coming on the way. You've already entered through the gate, but that was at birth or at an earlier time in your development, in our development. And it's as if here we're being forced into some type of graduation, being forced into some type of maturation. And we've been getting the slow at the door, knock, 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 tap, 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 throwing a pebble. Now they're going to throw a rock, a brick, and they're going to burn the house down. Because if you're not getting better, you're getting worse by definition. And it's not about getting worse. Because the only constant is change. So behind everything that we're hoping, wishing, and dreaming is the fact that the old things that take up the place of our new things need to be relinquished. What is the price for your new life, your old life? What is the price for your new self? Who you used to be. For things to change, you have to change. For things to get better, you have to get better. And your intuition will let you know. Song, another word for song is resonance or vibration. See, songs can create states of consciousness, can create worlds, can create realms, simulated realities. There's certain type of music that literally makes me fall into a trance. There's other types of music that makes me involuntarily move. You know, you put on some good darbuka drumming and I turn into a goddess. And that's more true and real than everything we perceive here in the material realm. So we read that. Let's let it go, because the channel is opening on that. See, I was compelled to get into the images. So maybe next week or a couple weeks from now, one week of the month, I read these cards. So 3 weeks from now, I'll read these cards again, and I'll just look at the image first and go into the intuitive channel, and then I'll read it at the very end. So Leliel, there's something going on, because see, that's a crescent moon, meaning there's so much more to come, and it may actually be eclipsing something out when it gets full. See, what I'm remembering here is that matrix, and in the matrix, Trinity is a hacker. What does Trinity mean? Father, Son, Holy Ghost, Father, Mother, Son, Aset, Asor, Heru, whatever it is. It's the form, the force, and the source from which all creation is embodied, is what the Trinity represents. It's the gateway into the head. It's the gateway into the crown. It's the gateway into the heavens. The heavens is where the head or God resides. God is the generator, operator, destroyer. You heard me talking about birth and death in the same place at the same time. That's a concept that people can't understand in the material. So what I'm detecting here is that as we create and plant the seeds for newness, the old begins to die. We put an expiration date on it. Some things are infinite until we begin to manifest bigger, brighter, better. And we'll become a beggar if we're holding on to what we used to have. Why? Because unless that thing we initially manifested was ever expansive, sometimes they're not. They're usually not, especially in the human mundane experience. So unless the thing we're manifesting is expansive, a gift that keeps on giving. You know, for instance, I've been looking into buying one of those soda streams, maybe not that brand or whatever. That's the gift that keeps on giving. Until they invent something better, that's going to stick around for a while. But a razor blade, say I buy a razor, that has a very short shelf life. Does that make sense? So when you begin to create, you inherently kill old things. When you give birth to something new, the old inherently begins to die. And in the night is where all of the potentiality is hidden. Because in the day, that's the enlightenment. That's where the beliefs live. The possibilities, however infinite, live in the dark here. And you know, El is twice in this word. Leliel. We have E-L-E-L, L-E-L-I-E-L. And it's so funny because my name is, Gorgeous is legally my middle name. Kali is my first name. It's a long name. It means divine ray of light. And it's funny because I have E-I in that name as well. I have E-I and an I-E in my name. My first name is Kali, like the goddess. Really the mother of all creation. I don't know why I'm telling you this. I'm just seeing we don't understand that we're gods. And we don't understand that we're in the material. And we don't understand that everything we see in the material gets created through the spiritual. In order to get down here to the third dimension, it needs to be filtered through the sixth, the fifth, the fourth dimension. That's where our higher self, our spiritual self lives. And we're living here in our limited self, in our ego body. That's the physical body. The physical body literally is your ego. Why? Believe it or not, you're dreaming somewhere. And that's what Night talks about, your authentic body, that Matrix movie. When Trinity finds Neo, he's searching for the truth. He's searching for enlightenment. And she's a hacker. What does hacker mean? It's another word for rebel or terrorist, anyone who's awake, anyone who can foil the plans of the dark cabal. So when Trinity introduces Neo, which means neophyte, novice, a person who's new to the mysteries, where do the mysteries live? In the night. When Trinity introduces Neo to Morpheus, and I haven't broken down Morpheus's name, but it tends to talk about two shapes, or a dualistic nature, or a shape-shifting nature, a person who's living in the present, who's creating the reality, not subjected to the reality that was forced upon them or, thrust upon them. When Trinity introduces Neo to Morpheus, Morpheus says, the truth that you're seeking, it is true. What you've heard, it is true. Whatever you've heard about the reality of our life, it is true. So you have an option. You can take the blue pill and be anesthetized back to sleep, and you get to believe whatever lie you've been told, or you can take the red pill and wake up. What happens when you take the red pill? It's almost like we have the blue pill and the red pill here. There's a lot of blue in this card, look. There's a lot of red in this card, look. So when you take the red pill, a beacon goes off, and you get to locate your authentic self. And the secret of the Matrix is that there are two worlds. One world is completely fake and the other one is real. So what happens when Neo wakes up in the Matrix? They go take him out of a pod, which is called an artificial womb. And where is he? He's in Zion. Another thing about Zion is 2012. For some reason, I'm hearing that. So we're waking up from a dream here. And some of this dream is that we've created, because what we don't understand, and I'm going to tell you a secret, normally this would be in the temple. When you die, what happens is you wake up from a dream. And you'll find that you're in the astral, and that you've been in the astral the whole time. So the thing about the third dimension is the dream world is a world of projections. It's not like the quantum world where we create something and we begin to see it. So you'll notice in the dreams, and I don't know who out there is a lucid dreamer, but you'll notice in the dream world, when you dream something or when you think of something, it gets created. And then you can actually travel into that creation. It's called a projection. So right now in third dimension, we're trapped in our own projection. And until we can take back our power and discern our true divinity and our own truth, we're going to be trapped there. So let's pull a Rumi oracle, because we need to connect to our spirit. We need to connect to that body in the artificial womb. That's what the soul represents. The human gift. Oh gosh, I love my job. Let me just tell you. And I'm going to read that one out loud. And the right choice. So people are always asking me, how do I find my true love? What do I do with my life? Develop a cultivating life. I want to be honest. We have 8 and we have 11. The gateway is open. You step into alignment, step through the gate. Let me show you these cards. So people are always like, how do I find my true love? How do I find my twin flame? How do I find my better half? Whoever is waiting for you, whoever you're waiting for is waiting for you. But the secret to finding your true partner, your match, is your better half. And I don't mean it that way, because I believe we're whole. We're not waiting on something to complete us. They're at a higher vibration. So when you get to your higher vibration, that's where your lover is waiting for you. So the right choice is you and yourself. Okay? The human gift. Let's read that and then we'll wrap it up here. O heart, What is your excuse for all of these blunders? Such loyalty is offered by the beloved, yet so much treason comes from you. Pardon me, I have a scratch in my throat. I'll start again. It's only 2 sentences. Oh, heart, what is your excuse for all of these blunders? Such loyalty is offered by the beloved, yet so much treason comes from you. Such kindness is offered by the beloved, yet so much defiance and resistance comes from you. Such grace is offered by the beloved, yet so much fault and failure comes from you. Such attraction is offered by the beloved, with sweetness and generosity, yet so much jealousy comes from you, with so much doubt and suspicion. Do you bemoan your lack of faith? Do you berate yourself, blazing angel that you are, because you have moments where you cannot bring yourself to trust in the love more than you trust in your fear? Do you lament and worry that you could or should be living in great surrender, and yet, when is light more precious than when it arises from the darkness? When is trust more admirable than when it involves an uncertain yet bold leap of faith? O human angel, your path is perfection in this divine sense, not in some artificial absence of struggle, but in the wrestling of the darkness and the light that ignites the fire within your holy heart. So rise up, dear human angel, from your doubts and admonishments, and let your human self be guided, be loved. Even for all of that doubt, you are still a cherished one of the beloved, of the great beloved, and always shall be. Okay, so that brought tears to my eyes, and what I'm getting already is that we all come from the goddess, and to her we are reborn like a drop of rain falling to the ocean. So I kind of butchered that because there's different verses and they all have a different key tone. Now, what I'm getting from that is we are all gods and goddesses because we all come from the goddess. There's an infinite sea that we all return to. So falling to the ocean, that's talking about Neptune. Neptune is the soul, Uranus is the spirit. We all have an individual spirit. We all have an oversoul that we all connect to and unify back to the Creator. Okay? The Trinity is about all three at the same time. There is a mother, there's a father, and there's a neuter, a both. And the both energy is not incarnate. Okay? So be kind to your heart. You may believe it to be wary from doubt and distrust. So much heartbreak, so many agonies, yet still it beats. Still it persists with the unquestioning allegiance to life. What a grand heart it is, this sacred heart of yours. How can it be worthy of anything other than tenderness, worthy of anything other than grace, of acknowledgement, of appreciation? Do not plague your heart with falsehoods and expectations of some disembodied perfection. The perfection of your heart is that it loves still. The perfection of your heart is that even if you try to stop it with some notion of self-protection from future hurt through doubt or fear, still, beloved, it loves. It is perfection that it hopes, even after despair, that it hopes and holds all the compassion even after experiences of fear. So then, what is there left to do but breathe the grandest sigh of relief and allow yourself the essential luxury of peace within? So then, beloved, everything is all right, even if at some moments it seems not to be. Still, your heart beats in honor of life. The heart can be nurtured and coaxed into gentle acceptance of all that is, and the divine sight will become available to you. Yes, sacred sight is what is beyond this oracle for you. Behind this oracle for you. Beloved, you are meant to be witnessing something great, grand, and important, something that will make the precise notion of your heart's desires true. It will make the presence of the divine in your affairs more real to you. It will be something that you can come to count on at all times. And in that, gain greater peace and the realization that, yes, it is safe to trust and surrender. Indeed, it is the only safe, sane, and sensible way to live. It is also the most fun way to live. And you are allowed to live this way if you so choose. It is not shirking your duty as a responsible adult. It is not deluding yourself and turning away from the real world. Rather, surrender is placing responsibility where it is best placed, firmly in the hands of that part of you wise enough to be known to the great beloved. And remember that the great expanse of your beloved is wiser still, and that your life unfolds according to the great beloved's grace. So, for now, take comfort in this oracle. Just for a moment, let your heart be honored and loved by you, and imagine that you can check and crack open a window in the dustiest chamber of your own heart temple to let the light of the divine stream in. You may see the angel reaching to assist you. You may receive a gift of understanding, insight, and revelation. You may feel at peace, or you may finally allow your heart to break once more, to shed those old grievances and be free and fresh to live and love again. Or you may quietly realize that you are human. You are light and dark of heaven and earth. What a perfect blend you are of all that can possibly be. You are an extraordinary, living divine experiment in the making. You are sacred, cherished, and loved by the great beloved. So do not fear your fear, but do doubt your doubt with compassion. Let it be and let it go. You are human after all, and your journey is beyond description. Just remember, if you are ever in need of the great beloved, there is a place where sacred trysts is always available to you. In the temple of your own heart, with the window cracked open, so the doubt can fly out and love can breathe freely. This oracle comes with special guidance to you. You are, or soon will be, seeing the greater clarity and insight, a situation that has been obscured to you or by you in the past. You may be startled by what you are about to perceive, so much so that you are almost certain to second guess yourself or chalk it up to wild imagination on your part. You are asked to trust in your perceptions that when they come from the heart, although what you perceive may be darkness, there will be no judgment in it. See what is truly there. Be in the compassionate nature of your own heart, and you shall also be shown the most graceful way to become clear and free of darkness, either within yourself or within others and the world around you. We all come from the goddess, and to her we are reborn like a drop of rain falling to the ocean. One day I'll sing the whole song for you. I kind of need to get permission from my church. Not really, but I need to feel more comfortable about it because it only comes through when it's soulful, and that needs an open heart. So let your priestess translate here. And I don't ask permission to live my own life, but when I'm called to check in, which is very rare because I give no fucks about nobody, not when it comes to my own personal power. So that's just that. Now, what am I picking up? You know, I'm working with a theory, and it's not really a theory, but I'm working with the theory in order to elucidate, illuminate, enumerate to others what and how this actually works. You know, I believe that we're whole already. I don't believe that we come here with one twin. Your twin is your higher self. It's your higher self anchored into the physical. So if you find a soulmate, catalytic, who you're able to heal together with, and you're not repelled from each other because you're projecting onto each other because you're suppressing and repressing what's alive in you, your own wounding and shadow and the need to heal it, then you might actually step into a twin flame union. Now, what a twin flame union is, your twin flame is you. It's your higher self anchored into the physical through somebody who's a member of your soul group. What does that mean? It means a soulmate can become a lover. A soulmate can become a twin flame. What does that mean? It means that your lover is the universe, the creator. And when you leave the physical, you return to the infinite expanse of the universe, especially when you're not trapped in the addiction and the heaviness of the attachments to the physical. So that's why I keep saying people, places, and things, people, places, and things, people, places, and things. Those are attachments. Attachments keep you coming back to the incarnated realm. When you release and relinquish, you free the energy to move up to its highest vibration, and you have no expectations for how the infinite looks to you. Okay? So what am I saying? Translation. I believe that we're all married to God in whatever way that comes. The creator, the source, prime source creator, whatever. We're all married to the universe. So this great beloved that we're chasing is the God alive in us. Now, I believe in twin flames, I'm not saying, but I just don't believe in what people think twin flames are. That's not how the universe communicates with me. Yeah, the dreamer. A leap of faith. Follow your dreams, unexpected opportunities. Sometimes the universe will take on a physical form. 3 of Earth. Sometimes you'll come together and you'll work together to create a bigger, brighter, better reality. Queen of Water. When you're holding space for you and yourself to experience, relationships develop on a new level because they're spiritual. They connect you to a spiritual place. You know, with this Divine Lovers card, it's not the Divine Lovers card, but I pulled it for the Divine Partnerships. It's the 4, we have 3 minutes left of the sermon. It's the 4 of Swords here. So it's saying that you need to rest and detangle your emotions from your beliefs. Because you feel the way you feel because of what you're deciding to think, not because of what's actual, factual, based in reality. Sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the time. Okay, so obviously I'm off key and I just don't care to warm up my voice and work it out. It's like not into it. So okay, so that song's coming through. Dock of the Bay. So I'm hearing a lot of esoteric mystery language about lodges and all that fun stuff. You know, sitting on the dock of the bay, the dock is where we come and experience. Believe it or not, the body itself is a dock. We're on the seas of time. This is a water planet. And we have the Queen of Cups here, and it's so funny because she descends to the ocean from the heavens here. Relationships develop to a new level. Trust your intuition. Care for yourself and others. Tender-hearted, empathetic, patient, loving. Doesn't mean you're open for some wounding. Doesn't mean you're sitting there conjuring up some hurting. You're already whole and connected to the soul group. So whatever you create here in the physical is that. When you're chasing something outside of yourself to make yourself feel better, that's when you're giving your power away. And that's why we're being a control freak. We have some idea about how it's supposed to look, how it's supposed to feel, how it's supposed to happen. And it could be love. It could be a hope or wish or dream. Like I've wanted to have a temple of my own for a couple of years. It's always been a bigger, brighter legacy than that. But the temple happens to be the physical manifestation for me. And I am confronting all of my lower vibrational shadow that's standing in the way of that. And ultimately, it's myself, my own wounding. And 10 of Cups, 10 of Earth. That's exactly what I was thinking. 2 tens is the Wheel of Fortune. What's on the bottom of the deck here? The Fool. There's a 0 there. Okay. So it's been an honor and a pleasure to serve you. Thank you for allowing me the privilege to do so. We were a little messy this week. Just please forgive. Try not to send too many thumbs down, but, of course, do whatever you want. Take good care of yourself. Until we meet again, until we read again, namaste. Dhanyavad. And I shake. Take good care of yourself. Arrivederci, buonasera, ciao, au revoir, sayonara, auf Wiedersehen, das Vidanya, sway, mashi, mashi.